McKinley Beach proposal, basically to start a lengthy study process that would dovetail into perhaps the city's North Glenmore study as well, that's coming up in a number of years. The council turned down, but I know that from your comments, you were hoping that council would have gone the other way.
I respect the decision of council. That, you know, at this particular point in time, it just wasn't something that they wanted to see discussed. Knowing that our land mass that we have within the community is, you know, 40% or a little bit more than 40% into ALR land. Also recognizing that with the densification that happens in pockets in our urban cores, that a lot of that will potentially be in units which would be not single family homes. That there is the need to mix and have a variety of considerations available. And some of that will need to be looked at into the future. What came before us on Monday was an individual wanting to look at advancing a study without guaranteeing that they'd be moving forward on that study in a particular area that we're experiencing within the community that has probably one of our larger employment areas with UBC, with the airport out there. It's substantial employment. One of our areas within our community that if we potentially do venture beyond that permanent growth boundary, that there would be a consideration for, because it aligns itself with the infrastructure requirements that are easy to access in that area. Also an area of the community where Lake Country is going to come towards us anyways, so they're gonna be right on that doorstep. So the interconnectivity of that particular area, whether it be at this particular point in time or sometime into the future, is going to be something that is going to continue to be discussed. There was potential value in having someone else look at completing a study for us and pay for the cost of that study, and show us potentially what plans could have been prepared for the future. But the timing just wasn't right at this time. I believe that there'll be other future discussions, because when we're looking at a housing need or deficit within our community, there needs to be a variety of housing available. And even though that we want to densify our urban cores, there's individuals who would prefer to have single family homes.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any secret that or surprise that that area will be developed. It's just a matter of when, not if.
And I believe the best way for it to be developed into the future is for it to be planned and discussed. I'll use the simple example of the Save On Foods that has opened up into the ponds. From a lot of the information that I'm hearing back now, the Save On Foods in the Lower Mission and also the Urban Fair Market in the Lower Mission, there are a lot of individuals who are using those services there and are not having to come down to the Lower Mission area. If we plan it properly in that particular area, there's people working at UBC, there's people working at the airport, and right now potentially those individuals are coming downtown in order to live, or to other areas, or they're going to Vernon or other communities. To have that ability to kind of develop in there goes towards one of those issues of controlling environments, transportation. But yes, it does go the other way with, you know, building outside of, you know, a boundary. So I think there'll be future discussions that happen. There are very few areas within this community that are available. There's Black Mountain, there's Thompson Flats. You know, there's a few particular areas within the community that probably will continue to be discussed into the future. And I just think that whether it's now or whether it is sometime in the future, to have those discussions and have those plans and plan them out properly is extremely, extremely important.